Good day everyone, welcome to Academia TV. Today's video we will be talking about the physical environment of the Philippines. But before we start, please don't forget to subscribe this channel and tap the notification bell if you want to get update with all the videos that I am going to upload here in my YouTube channel. We lived in the Philippines, our native land. It is one of more than 180 countries in the world. The people who lived and belonged to this country are called Filipinos. If your parents were born in this country and you were also born here, then very likely you are a Filipino. As Filipinos, we should love and know our country well. Now, in order to know our country well, we study its history because history is a story of a country and its people. There are three important parts about knowing a country's history, namely God, people, and land. God. God loves the Filipinos and put them in a rich and beautiful land. God also gave the Filipinos the gift of faith to know Him and to serve Him. God has a special plan for our land and our people. God has helped the Filipinos in many times of natural calamities and social troubles. The Bible has promised that blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. People, men, women, and children who make up the Filipino nation are very fortunate. Only the Filipinos have the most knowledge of God's Word and His Son Jesus as compared to the other Asian, African, and Middle Eastern nations. Only the Filipinos have a rich and unique cultural heritage of Asian, Latin, European, and American influences. No other nation in the world has this rich cultural heritage, and we are the bridge between East and West. We are the only Christian nation in Asia, so we will take the gospel to the other non Christian nations. Land. We have one of the most beautiful and richest lands in the world. The Philippines is rich in natural resources like oil, gas, minerals, farmlands, and forests. Visitors from all over the world come to see the wonderful scenic spots in our country. If we take care of these natural resources, we will become a very prosperous land. The name Philippines. Long ago, when the Filipinos were not yet united as a nation, we were separated into clans and tribes. These groups of people lived in areas, each with their own names. So when outsiders came to visit, they heard many different names about our country. Early Chinese traders who visited Mindoro called our nation Maye. This means land of gold, because they bought gold in Mindoro. A Greek map-maker named Claudius Ptolemy called our islands Maniolas in his ancient map. When Magellan came in 1521, he called the Philippines Archipelago of St. Lazarus, but that name did not become popular. Actually, a foreigner named our country, but that was the name God wanted to this nation. In 1543, a Spanish explorer named Ruy Lopez de Villalobos gave the name Filipinas to the Philippines in honor of Crown Prince Felipe or Philip, who later became King Philip II of Spain. The Filipinas later became Filipinas during the Spanish colonial era. Then it would become the Philippine Islands during the American colonial era. Then the Republic of the Philippines after our independence in 1946. Pearl of the Orient Seas. Sometimes there are nicknames to a country, just as people can have names and nicknames. The most popular nicknames of the Philippines is Pearl of the Orient Seas. This was the romantic name given to our country by two famous writers. One of them was a Spanish missionary historian named Father Juan J. Delgado in 1751. But the Filipino who popularized this name was Dr. Jose Rizal, our national hero, who wrote it in an article in 1892 and in his farewell poem before his death in 1896. Origin of the Philippines. There are many explanations about the origin of our land. As Christians, we believe that the landforms were made by God as part of His creation. Therefore, the Philippines was a part of God's creation of the world. After the great flood in the time of Noah, many continents and islands appeared. So the descendants of Noah spread out to many parts of the world. According to Genesis, from this the maritime people spread out into their territories by their clans within their nations, each with its own language. The other religions of some tribes in the Philippines explained the origin of this land by telling legends. Legends or myths are stories that are not true, but people use them to explain some things in a colorful way. One legend says the Philippines came from the giant who was carrying a huge rock. But scientists have different opinions about the origin of the country. Some geologists claimed that it was a remnant of a prehistoric continent called Mu or Lemuria in the Pacific Ocean. Due to the volcanic eruption or earthquakes, this vast continent sank beneath the ocean. Other geologists believe that the country has a volcanic origin. The eruptions of the sea volcanoes, according to them, caused the gradual emergence of the islands above the ocean. The most popularly accepted scientific theory states that the Philippines was part of the Sunda Shelf, or the continental shelf of Asia. About 25 years ago, the Ice Age ended and the world's ice melted, and the rising sea level flooded the land bridges connecting the continent of Asia and the Philippines. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching and listening.